Hi everyone. So today we'll be seeing how does the number or the decimal get affected by multiplying or dividing by different powers of 10. Okay. So always remember, when we are multiplying or dividing by tens, we directly move the decimal point to the left or right. Okay. So when we are multiplying, okay, so 10, 100,000 are big numbers. Okay, so by default the values of the numbers is going to become bigger. Okay, so the decimal will move towards the right, because moving the decimal towards the right makes the number bigger. Okay, and whenever we are dividing by some power of 10, the decimal will move towards the left because it's dividing by a big number, so it will reduce the value of the decimal. Okay, now let's see how do we go about that. Okay, so first of all, we have 39.5 to multiply by 10. So we need to see how many zeros are there. We just have 1 0. Okay, so and we are multiplying, so the decimal will move 1 to the right. So what do we get? 395.2. Okay, now in the second one we have how many zeros? 1, 2 and 3. Okay, and we are performing multiplication. We have, okay, so the decimal will move 1, 2 and 3. Okay, but we have only two numbers after the decimal, so in the empty space we fill a 0. Okay, so what will our final number become? 9660. Okay, so either you can write a decimal after that, or we can write 9660, because the trailing zeros after the decimal do not add any value to the number. Okay, so we get 9660. Okay, so 9660 is greater than 9.66. Now here again we are multiplying, but here we have only two zeros. 10 to the power of 2, like we did in exponents, we can also write this 10 to the power of 2. Okay, so we have two zeros here, so the decimal will move 2 times to the right. So what is the answer that we will get? 3552 decimal 4. Okay, now on this side we are dividing the numbers. Okay, so the decimal will move towards the left. Again we have to see how many zeros do we have here. We have here 2, and the operation is division, so the decimal will move towards the left. So what do we get? 0.1918. Okay, so before the decimal we can, whenever after the decimal or before the decimal there's nothing, we just add 0, because it doesn't add or decrease the value of the number. Now here we just have 1 0, but the operation is division, so we move it one time towards the left, so we get 1.56. Okay, now in here we have 1, 2, 3 zeros, and the operation being performed is division. Okay, so we move it 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so here in the empty spaces, like here in the empty spaces we didn't have anything. Similarly, in the empty spaces we can fill zeros. Okay, so now our value becomes 0.00625. Okay, so now it's very important to remember these zeros cannot be removed. Okay, because they have some whole numbers after them. Okay, only if it is trailing 0 at the end, there are no numbers follow it, only then it does not add or remove the value, so it can be removed. Otherwise, these zeros have a value, because you see we have two zeros, so this makes it like we did in our place values class. So this position is called the ones, this is called the tenths, this is called the hundredths, and this is called the thousandths. So these zeros is making this position to thousands. So these zeros are adding value to the number. So I hope this is clear. If you have any questions, please write down in the comments below. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video.